Hey, I'm Pete the Plumber. Plumbing is what I'm all about. From emergencies to catastrophes, from brand new shiny renovations, let me and my team show you how to get it done and done right. Calgary, we've got you covered. Working with the big man, Bret Hart. You can't say enough about him. Calgary icon, world-renowned championship wrestler, world-renowned great guy. He is just a super wife, same as his wife. They are just a pair made in heaven. They are really great, and it's a pleasure to work for him. It's so much fun talking to him, interacting with him, and he's out with the community, does all sorts of charity work. Just a fantastic guy. Now that job was a tight one. His furnace, his basement it's a gorgeous basement, but the contractor didn't give us much space in the furnace room there. It's very tight, but we got in there. We got in there and got it fixed up. What is the stud in there, Derek?
A little damp at the bottom, but up top it's not bad at all.
Clean out the stuff on the plate, yeah. Okay. All that stuff, yeah. No, nothing loose. Nothing loose.
Cooperating?
Nope, not at all.
What's going on? Is it just...
It's just water. You can't solder with water in there, and either water dripping back or there's water in that elbow. I'm just gonna have to pull it apart down there. I'm just checking all these ones out. Because those ones all took at least. It's just this last joint.
Okay, one thing that's very important when we're replacing a humidifier is the water source. A lot of them have plastic water lines. This one had a good copper water line, but it also had a saddle valve. These are a time bomb waiting to leak in your house. They're the easiest thing and most common thing for anybody to put in. You don't have to know how to solder, or you don't even need any tools except a screwdriver to put it in. And that's what the HVAC guys do a lot of when they're putting these in. Plumbers usually don't use these, we use a T. But back 20, 30 years ago when this was in, it was put in. These valves seize up on you, near impossible to turn, but the worst part is that rubber right there. The black rubber, the gasket that stops this thing from leaking, which is right here. Once they jiggle, they get all dried out and then you'll get leaking. Now this one wasn't leaking, but we couldn't turn it. And we're gonna do it right the first time, of course. So we've cut this out. Unfortunately, the valve below it did not hold. So it wasn't stopping the water. That's what Adam's having to wrestle with now, is stopping the water, getting a new ball valve on there, and we'll keep on going from there. Let's go see how he's making out.
Well, that's an old school trick. Is like if there's like more up here, if I had water falling back, the old way of doing it is obviously grabbing all white bread, nothing with oats or anything in it, and you actually put it up here. Shove it up there so then the bread will actually hold the water back and then eventually disintegrate. And it doesn't hurt anything. So you don't actually have to pull it out afterwards.
Cool trick.
They got new tools that essentially do the same thing now that you can buy. Most customers have bread though. Yeah, I was just cleaning off all the cherries and all the excess solder there. Just so it didn't look like a Christmas tree. Alright, it's an easy one to fix.
Boy, the day we have to replace those furnaces is going to be a good one. But it all worked. It all got in there. We got the general humidifier in there, which is a great humidifier, especially in this dry city of ours. And it worked out great, and I know he's very happy.
Brand new. I'm gonna need the thumb screws next. You wanna put the solenoid together?
The home show. I thought they ran out of people to ask to talk when they asked me. I thought, is there nobody else besides fat old Pete the plumber? But I guess they ran out of people. They wanted to hear me. It was an honor. It's always an honor when somebody asks me to get up and ramble on. It's a funny thing, once I start rambling on, I can't stop rambling on because I love plumbing and heating and cooling.
Okay.
Does my hair look good though? You can bugger up this titty.
Turn it on.
We got this
you're
thing.
fine.
So when they turned around, they're gonna look at that. And the crowd was great. Kept asking questions and firing things up there. It was fantastic. And I love educating people. That's what it really comes down to. I want to educate people because I know you want to know stuff about plumbing and heating that you don't know.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 2020 Calgary Renovation Show. Thank you so much for joining us here at the main stage, presented by Post Media Solutions and designed by Jamie Banfield. Our next presenter is no stranger in this city. Pete the Plumber is celebrating 20 years in business, is a Balmer-approved company, and has a TV show that airs Sunday mornings on CTV. Today, he is going to talk about saving money in renovations, so please give a warm welcome to Pete and his sidekick, Dino.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I thought I better bring Dino, because if I don't bring Dino, everybody says, where's Dino? And as you know, we're Flames fans, okay? Is that no, Dino? You've had no? Okay, we'll let you go. We'll let you go. Get out of here. Thanks for coming out. I want to show you how to save money. Is it cold enough for you, first of all? How's everybody like that cold in our beautiful cow town? Isn't that great? So cold that my guys tell me when they're peeing outside they have to back up. Okay, so you know what that's all about, right? Now I don't mind talking about pee because I'm a plumber. I can talk about all these things because it's my business. I've been in more women's washrooms than you women have, but not in a perverted way. Anyhow, we'll talk about how you can save money, because renovation is huge in Calgary, especially now with the downturn in housing. People aren't moving, they're looking to buy a house, they're not looking to buy a house, they're looking to fix their house up because they can't sell their house, or they don't need to sell their house, they're going to live where they live and they love it. And I want to guide you the right way, the Pete way, the right way, the proper way. There are so many people out there that want to take your money and they don't deserve it. I just want to guide you, even if I can help you a little bit. The trick, the key, planning, planning, planning. If you remember those 3 words, you will have a successful job. Nothing happens quick, except the lottery ticket. Because if somebody says, I can come in and be in and out of your place in 2 or 3 days, worry. Worry. Okay, depending on the size. So it's all up to you to get the right person. That is key, planning. And I've heard so many people, after I do stuff like that, they come up to me and they say, you know, I thought I was paying the right price for something with this guy, and I find out I was not. You know, I don't want to use the word getting ripped off, but getting ripped off. And I never want to see that. There's a lot of great plumbers in the city, a lot of great HVAC contractors in the city, but there's a lot of crooks. And that's what I always want to help people find the good from the bad. Make sure your contractor and you are on the same page. You have to be on the same page. There can be no gray area. You've heard Brian Balmer, you've heard Mike Holmes, you've heard all these people say make sure you're on the same page with that contractor. You have to be. There can be no gray area whatsoever. If you are not happy and they are not fixing the problem, pull the plug sooner than later. So all of a sudden going, oh, what are you talking about halfway through my renovation? It will save you money in the long run. I'm not the only guy. There's great guys out there. I just want to help people spend their money and spend it right. So when I get a chance to talk to people, I get to have a bigger audience there and help people, obviously. And I'm honored to do it. Honored to do it. When doing a renovation, the first thing you have to think of is, how long am I going to be in this house? I need to have something done. Am I going to be in this house 2 years, 5 years, or are they carrying me out in a box? It's harder to plan after 5 years. I've said carry me out in a box in the last 2 houses I've lived in, but that's happened. But you really have to think about that. I'm only going to be here 2 years, then we're moving somewhere. I'm going to be 2 years, we're downsizing. 5 years, the kids are gone, whatever. So that's the first thing you have to do is, how long will I be in that house? That is the number one thing you have to do, because that's going to drive how much you're going to spend. Because you don't want to overspend and lose your money in the house. Because you don't, and I will repeat, don't need to spend $20,000 on a bathroom. Okay, I get that question all the time. Pete, hey, this contractor, do I got to spend $20,000 on a bathroom or $18,000 on a bathroom? No, you don't. Unless it is in huge distress, of course. And then you might have to.
The heat's blowing right in my face right now.
Yeah, I can feel it. It's toasty. How exactly does a humidifier work? Is it just running?
So the water is obviously fed through the top here, through the pad. The pad has clay in it, which absorbs the water. And then we end up blowing hot, like we take the hot air out of here, blow it through here, through the pad, so we help vaporize the water and humidify the air.
Good solder.
I sure did.
He sure did. Humidifiers. We live in the greatest city in Canada, which is the greatest city in the world, as we know, but it's dry. It is so dry. The conditions for all the geographical regions, you can figure that out, but we know it's dry. In the winter, dry lips, dry nose. You wake up in the middle of the night, the glass of water by the table. We need moisture because our skin gets so dry. We're like alligators. It just sucks right out of us in the winter. You want a flow through, okay? You want a flow through type is the best. Flow through type humidifier is the best. The days of the old drum type are gone. If a contractor tries to sell you one of those, show him the door right away. You do not want the drum type. The box stores still sell them, but they sell everything they can, of course. You want a flow through model. It is the best by far. They have been experimenting a lot on the mist ones, the humidification, the mist ones, the steamer ones. I'm not sure if they've really perfected them yet. We've dabbled with them. I can't say they're perfected yet. The flow through are the best. General are one of the best. The 1042 is probably our most common. Easy to work on, great to get parts, fantastic warranty. The flow through General is a fantastic one to get, and we need them to be comfortable in the winter.
Some warm air right there.
Right? It was blowing right in my face a minute ago. You know it's there.
So it's going to be important that we get the water saver on to save gallons and gallons of water.
Get some of this hot air to stop blowing in my face. When you feel how hot that air is blowing out of there, imagine it blowing through a hot humid pad, or through a humid pad. So that's why I prefer it this way, using the hot air instead of trying to use the cool air. And if it leaks, you're not leaking over your nice expensive furnace. Oh, that's all good. This one's pretty easy because the wiring's here already. Because you already had a humidifier running 24 volts. Nice thing with 24 volt is it's not directional. So you can't get it. That's why all these wires are just black.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which way they go in, as long as it's a complete circuit. So when you're putting these in, after you wire it all up, it's supposed to go into here. Open up that paperwork. And then go to settings, because there's actually little dip switches on here. And depending on the model, is what dip switch it goes on. So this is obviously the General Air 1042. Sometimes it doesn't like to push the ferrule by. I just use the fitting to help push it by to make sure the ferrule's seated. Otherwise it'll leak. Found them? Those work.
Do you see this? I'm working here.
We got it on camera now.
Good?
Yeah. Well, you can hit that furnace switch right above you there, Derek. Now I'm done the wiring, we can have his keep back. Tighten these 3 connections. 4 connections, we're done. 5 connections, I guess.
Okay, it was tight, Adam.
It was.
But apparently not your tightest job. You had a tighter one yesterday.
Today. It was today. But yeah, no, I definitely wanted a smaller space than this.
Good, good, good. How'd it go in? It was actually pretty nice to get to once you got in here, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, no, it's actually a little higher than I like it, but I mean, for changing the filter, it's nice because you don't have to fight with getting the tray out.
Good point.
But otherwise, we were a little tight up to the gas line for getting drills and stuff up there, but we made do.
And they could have put it lower for... There's no reason they had it so high, was there?
No.
Maybe the old hole was there.
Yeah.
And we got the water saver on, all programmed up and ready to go?
Yep, we set it up for the 1042 as per General Air settings, so it'll sit there and it'll pulsate the water instead of leaving the water on consistently.
Perfect. And you wrestled with that new valve, but we all got it in.
Yeah, we got it in. We removed any of the plastic lines for the humidifiers and ran all copper now.
Perfect. Yeah, we got rid of the plastic lines. There was a little chunk of one there, so it's all in.
It's all removed,
and you just cracked the ball valve, I noticed, because they don't need to be open wide, do they?
No, we don't need a ton of flow through them. And the idea of not having a water saver, and if you had one that was just connected straight to it, at least you're slowing down the water flow there, and you're not throwing so much water down the drain.
Exactly. Hot little room we're in.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's a warm one in here.
We're going to take a look at the hot water tank and see how old it is, because it doesn't look like it's new by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's got a few years under its belt.
So we're going to take a look at that and let the hitman know that. I'll let him know that we're all done. You're happy?
I'm happy.
Good job.
I'm warm, but I'm happy.
I've never seen you sweat so much as I saw it here. You were leaking pretty good.
Oh yeah. Especially when we had this all apart and I had hot air blowing straight on me.
There you go. And we got the switch back on because we have been known to leave a switch off the odd time and get a call in the middle of the night from a customer.
Oh, it's running. I can feel it. It's on today.
Yes, you got it running. Thanks a lot, Adam. I'll let you get going and be a superhero somewhere else.
Perfect.
So the thing that made this the trickiest was this valve right up here. There's where our old saddle valve sat. So we've cut out the saddle valve, put a T in, and we have a ball valve to the 1/4-inch copper line. And this valve, the old one did not hold. Now it's obviously open wide. Adam's got a new one soldered in here. But this was the tricky bugger. We're at the lowest point of the house, being in the basement, and this is a long house. This house is 200 feet long ranch bungalow, so it takes a long time to drain. So that's why we're a little longer than we normally would be putting this valve on. It's open wide. The humidifier valve is it's all brass, no plastic, no gaskets, and you just need to open up a 1/4 because you just need ever so slightly of water to trickle down through there, and then make its way up and into the new humidifier, which is a General. And General are great. They've been around for years. You put them in once, you just have to maintain them. Once a year, pull that filter out, give it a cleaning, and put it back in. But again, bit of a tight area. I figured I'd do this by myself instead of the hitman down here with me, because there wouldn't be enough room with his shoulders in here with me. But Adam did a great job, nice and tight, no more leaks, got everything swept up. What we did do is he had a bit of water leakage here. You can still see a residue, and it was sucking up into the drywall. We've cut the drywall out, got it out of here. This will dry up in no time. With this furnace going on, this will dry up in no time. Everything looks good. No mold and mildew. Nothing he has to worry about there. Everything looks awesome. He'll be happy. Humidifiers need to be cleaned twice a year. At the beginning of heating season and at the end of heating season. I pulled out the old ones off the old humidifier. Again, this one isn't too bad, but you can see the hard water. Calgary's hard water, and they're on co-op water here, which is a glorified type of well water. But how hard it is. So September, late September, early October, you want to pull the pad out or whatever you have there. Clean it out, make sure it's clean, no hard water debris, clean all that out, put it all back together, be ready for a season. And at the end of the season, you can even see the residue in the head because the water went in the top and then dispersed over the head and then trickled down over the filter itself. But you can see the hard water buildup. That's why you have to take these out every year, just once a year. Once a year, put them underneath. You can put them in CLR or vinegar and water, or just scrub them with a soft bristle brush and take the hard water deposits off. For two reasons, everybody says, well, Pete, it's the end of the season, right? Well, at the end of the season, it's probably caked on again. You don't want that sitting all summer long and getting hardened, okay? It's still moist. It'll have hard water residue on it. But now's the time to clean it before, June, July, August, September come by and they cake it on. You might not be able to clean it. So beginning of the season, so you know you start fresh. End of the season, while it's still easy to clean. But these can last you for years and years and years and years if you take care of them properly. Because General makes a very good one. They just have to be maintained like everything. We're doing one of my favorite things, coming back to repeat customer, and nothing better than Bret the Hitman Hart. How you doing, big man?
I'm really good. I'm good now.
You're good now. We had an issue. The humidifier was leaking like a leaky diaper down there all over the floor.
Yeah.
Like I say, I hope he keeps calling. I know he'll keep calling us every year to do something. And his house is dated. Of course, it's, what do we figure, about 25, 30 years since his last big renovation. Well, we've got it all buttoned up. We got the General 1042 in there. Looks awesome. And it's time. They want updates, new things wear out, new designs, new colors, new faucets. We did the humidifier. That was a more of a mechanical maintenance thing, of course. We cut out some of that drywall, but there's enough heat in there not to worry about mold and mildew. That'll all get heated. That'll all get dried out there in no time. Before that, we did his basin faucets, and before that, the shower, before that, the toilet. So it's one of these things. You buy a house, and it's constant work in maintenance, of course, which we have to do. It's our biggest single investment.
All right, well, that's awesome.
But it's looking awesome, and anything to keep you happy, big man.
Well, you keep doing it.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for everything.
Take care. So we have to keep it upgraded. We have to keep it working well. We want to live happy, so we have to take care of it. So I know he'll call us back.